Hi everyone, it's Kara, and I wanted to share a quick altered project that I did. I actually was feeling like I wanted to do something that wasn't too terribly complicated, so I went into my little crafty stash and found all these keys that I'd picked up at various times at Michael's, and decided that I would alter them up and, you know, kind of play around with them and see what I could do. So here are the ones that I created. I'll start with this one. It's in kind of that brassy gold color. And I started with a 7 Gypsies butterfly here in the back. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it real well, but I first embossed the butterfly with a script embossing folder. And then I adhered it to the back of the key using some E6000. And then I put some seam binding in the back here. And this was actually a bow originally, but I didn't like the way it looked. So then I added this pretty little kind of blue-green, light blue-green flower, and I cut the bow apart and then kind of ripped up and distressed the edges, just a little bit of it. I added a piece of book paper around the bottom there, and then a little bit of bling, and that is the first one. It's pretty simple, a lot of fun. The only thing I really had to do was wait a little bit for drying time on a couple parts of it. Then I made this one. And basically on this one, I took a piece of this really pretty kind of chartreuse green seam binding, wrapped it around and tied a bow to the side. And then I had been given this really pretty butterfly piece as a, I think as a thank you gift. And I took some of the vintage, what is that? I think it's the enamel stuff for jewelry. It's, let's see, the patina stuff that you can use. My camera wants to focus on it. Anyway, I took some of that and I put that in the center, and it just happened to be a perfect match for the seam binding. That was just a lucky coincidence. I wrapped a little bit more seam binding up here. Again, I wrapped it around, tied it in a bow to kind of offset or balance, I guess I should say, this bow down here. And I added this little cute cameo that I was given and called that one done. Thought that one looked pretty good. And then I did this one, which is kind of, to me it's very artsy or steampunk or something like that, but this is another one. And hopefully in the back here you can see this metal piece that I had. Again, this was a gift, and I took some more of that vintage stuff and colored it all up and sanded it a little bit so it kind of pokes out. And I added, kind of a teal seam binding and a little bit of black tulle that I just kind of cut up and distressed. This was another little goodie that someone was nice enough to give to me, so I added that. Attached chain to both sides, and then added this little Tim Holtz charm, which basically just says altered. So that's that one. And then the last one that I have is this one. And this time I kept it pretty simple. This is a little tag from the Graphic 45 Ladies Home Diary, and some more seam binding, and this is again another cameo that was a gift. I really liked, obviously you can tell, the whole wrapping of the seam binding around it. I thought it was just a really pretty effect. And I kept this one pretty simple, very kind of shabby chic. So there are my creations. I had a ton of fun doing it. They were all really pretty easy. Like I said, basically the only thing I really had to wait for was drying time on some of the adhesive. For the most part, I think all I really used on the adhesives here was the E6000 on some of the pieces, and then the glossy accents. And that's pretty much it. You can kind of see from looking at it, I didn't realize it at the time, but I was really feeling greens. I don't know what the deal was. If you guys have watched my videos, you know I'm normally a pink girl, which I guess there's a teeny bit of pink in here. But for whatever reason, when I did these, I did all these pretty much in one day, I was really feeling the kind of the greens. You can see it in every single one. So anyway, if you guys have any questions, leave them down below. Oh, and I wanted to put a question out there too, because I've been using a lot of my seam binding, and I do remember where I originally got mine, but I was curious to know if any of you guys had any really good places to get seam binding. So if you do and you feel like sharing, if you could leave that in a comment down below, I would really appreciate it. So once again, guys, if you have any questions for me about any of these, leave them down below. I figured before I finished, let me just say I figured I could use these either as charms, you know, attach them to chain or maybe some ball chain or ribbon, whatever, or they could also be adhered just on their own on some other altered, like larger altered projects. Like this would be really, you know, pretty as part of maybe a configuration box or a larger frame, something like that. So that's what I intend to eventually use them all on, assuming I don't give them away. We'll see. But anyway, third and last time, I think. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope that wherever you're at, you're having a great day. Bye.